next topic is academic success is the most important thing in university.
Does anyone want to start?
Well, I'm a film major.
Yeah.
Sorry. Actually, no. My parents are very supportive. I'm very grateful for that. If they knew my GPA, though. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I'm sorry. It is very different for me. I think my success comes from networking and developing my craft, and that is, like, not at all related to academic success in any shape or form. Ryan Coogler went under the same program as I did, and if you look in the archives, all of his grades were terrible. So, like, but, you know, he's directing, like, Marvel movies, so it's fine, you know.
I think I'm even worse. I'm like an art major. At the beginning,
We're comm major.
Leading up to college, like, starting around middle school, that was, like, kind of, I guess, like, I logged in. Like, I had a 4.0 since 7th grade. However, no, because I'm here and I'm a comm major. Right. But
it's the hardest comm to get into.
yeah, well, but what?
Is it not?
Is it the hardest?
Like
is it
the-
the
like
of Annenberg?
It's the best comm, It's the best comm in the whole entire U.S.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But also like part of it, because like yeah, like the academic success, like that's just like one measurement though, you know, because like you were saying like yours with your craft and your talent, that's not exactly measurable. Like you don't measure that in your GPA. Like I guess you could like if you do good in the class and like technically you're good at your craft, but that doesn't apply because it's so linear sometimes.
Yeah.
And when it comes to creative processes, like you can't police that. And like communications, like I could say the same thing when it comes to like networking and like basically just like knowing what you want to do with it. Because like people look at communications and say like, oh, like, well, what are you doing with that? You know? But it's, if you know what you're doing, then I guess the academic part, I mean, as long as you're graduating with it, matters? Like, not as much.
I think I grew up because I grew up in Shanghai, and that even though I went to international school, but like everybody says like works so hard on their like SATs and their GPAs, like everything, and even there's activities. They even like
extracurriculars.
they want to make up to kind of win. Like it's like a competition. Everybody's are really rude to other people if they got like a better score or something. So I think that's. I don't like that. I don't like that environment. So when I first like stepped into USC, I actually think because I'm an art student, so my parents are really chill. Like they don't care. They're like, oh, just go home. you can't earn any money in the future. But like I do like I mean that's true. When I first stepped into USC, like academic is no longer important. Or I mean, in my life so far, it never been the most important thing in my life. And I think especially in USC, there's a lot of things like. My friends, like knowing people, like connections, and also like just learning something that is not your major, but you have passion to. Like for example, like I love electrical guitar, and then I have time to learn in my college time, so I would be willing to learn that. So I think there's a lot of things that is more important than academic success, and in the future, I think like nobody gonna ask your GPA, like when you're in when you're having a job in the future. So. I think this is not important, and no one asked my GPA. Like no one asked my GPA.
Can I say something though, contradicting to this?
Yeah.
It's so different because growing up in Milan and in Europe, no one cares about grades. So it's like you could get like I did the IB program, so the
trauma flashback.
So it's like the highest grade is a 45, and like people could like my grade average I think was like a 28. Like, no one cared. Like, you could literally be taking the easiest class. No one ever did their homework. Like, teachers were pulling their hairs out. Like, I grew up in an environment that was so unacademically driven. So coming to USC, I think it made me even more academic because I see all these people working so hard. I'm like, damn, like, you guys have, like, goals and ambitions. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I'm saying, like, when I ask my friends back home, like, oh, what are you going to do for uni? They're like, oh, I'm going to do business. And it's like, okay, so how many people are we doing business? And it's like, the whole grade, I had 80 people. I think 70 people did business.
Wow.
Like, everyone did business because it was such a, I wouldn't say easy route to get into, but because the requirement is so little. Because also with European universities, you don't have the whole Common App. It's more like no one cares about activities. It's just one essay and then you send it off to like every university. So I think in that sense is that's a difference. And then so I had to motivate myself to like work harder, because out of all the 80 people that applied to uni, only 3 people applied to the States in my grade. So it was like us 3 were kind of like just supporting each other and like going through like everything. But I mean, it worked out in the end, but I just think like it's just really like
That's
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like,
really different. But like I do agree with how you guys, like the people around me are really hardworking.
yeah.
Like I forgot who mentioned, but like I think you mentioned it's like they're pretty and they're hardworking, they're talented. Like literally all my friends are like that. So like they're really talented in all different fields, and they have you never see them working, but they got good grade, and then they have passion in the thing that are learning. Even maybe it's not their major, but they have their passion and they're having fun like all around the world and traveling. I think that's a good thing. Like I got impacted by them. Like sometimes I think, oh, maybe academic success is not that important, something is more important, but like I do also focus on my work too. Like I also have passion in my work, so I think that's a good impact.
Like work hard, play hard.
Yeah, work hard.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone who is a STEM major have anything to say about this topic?
Well, I feel like in engineering, like, it is more prioritized academics, but still, even in like the hardcore engineers like mechanical and like chemical, there's a big emphasis on like the skills you develop rather than the grades you get, and I feel like that's also a very important aspect. And I think that when so much more of college for me especially is like trying to like find like who I am. Like it sounds cliche, but like I really want to like expand my interests. And like coming from Arkansas, I didn't have a lot of opportunities at the like LA offers. Like there's no like volleyball, men's volleyball there. I really want to get into volleyball. There's no like dancing clubs. Like I was always there's all these specific interests that like I felt like I couldn't expand in Arkansas, but you know, in LA I could. So that aspect of it, like finding these interests that like I didn't have opportunities for before, is so much more prioritized for me rather than just even as a STEM major, like getting a high GPA or like, you know, joining like some professional frat that just connects me to another job, you know.
Because I'm in the master, so like right now we don't need to apply for like a higher degree. I suppose like not a lot of people like in my major, they want to apply for the PhD. So we felt that like GPA, right? Okay, GPA is not that important because we just need to like look for a job in the future. But I found that because like most of people in my major and they all like international students, so we are just like naturally care about our GPA. And also like because I know like although you're an international student, but you didn't like experience Chinese Gaokao, right?
No.
Like Chinese like undergrad entrance examination. Yes, I am. So fucked up. I mean like because like Chinese Gaokao is like we have ranking, so like if someone win and someone gonna lose, like we don't like other people, like you guys like you have like different kinds of choices and you have your unique path to the university, right? So like everyone like we do the same thing. So that's why like we really care about like our academic. And when I was in undergrad school, I still care about my GPA because I know that I'm gonna like apply for the master. And at that time, I was so ashamed. I cannot believe that I already like 19 or 20, but I'm gonna cry if I cannot get a high score in an examination. Yes, it's so ashamed. And but right now I grew up. I mean like I won't cry, right? I mean like, but I still naturally feel that I have to get a high score, not because like
Parents forcing.
yes, I just feel that okay. Genetic thing.
Yeah,
genetic.
I agree with that too. Cause like
Yes.
when I was in high school, like I never liked studying. Like I never like even though like, but I have good grades even though in my high school, even though I'm art major. But I never loved studying. Like I can learn, but like I don't like the feeling of studying. So I think maybe the difference is like in high school, my parents need to force me to study. Like I have the pressure like with like my friends and the environment, oh, I need to get a good grade. But like in college, I think this is already a thing that, oh, I need to get a good grade. And even though nobody's forcing me, but I still have like I still tend to want to get a good grade. I still feel ashamed if I don't get a good grade.
I think with our parents, I don't know about your parents, but like especially in humanities, it's very rare. I think for Asian, like because both my parents are Chinese, like fully, and yours too, right? So I think it's very rare to have like parents that are like, you know, did university in China to be like, oh, like I'm gonna send my daughter out or like my son out to pay like 90K a year to study communication. I don't think that happens a lot, but like especially with like arts and stuff. But I think it's like I'm really grateful that like they provided me this platform because they knew how like passionate I was with like wanting to go into marketing, and so if they found that like this is what I wanted to do, then I think the support that they gave us is like,
I mean, kind of chiming on that, like my take is my parents were never like super forced, didn't really force me to like get good grades. They're always very chill about it, but it was kind of the pressure I put on myself because my parents were putting so much effort into it, and like coming out of state into UCLA, this is pretty expensive, and like my parents were sacrificing a lot of like resources and time because they kind of wanted me to stay in state too for that connection. But like I kind of feel like I owe it to them, and I'm pressured to, you know, succeed. And like thankfully I am pretty passionate about engineering and like STEM. But a lot of my friends that are also in the major, they kind of only do engineering because they see it as a safe way to like earn money and like get that return on investment. And a lot of them are like not going after their dreams or not doing the stuff that they really feel passionate about because they feel like they have this pressure that their parents are putting so much effort into them, so many resources, that if they do something that they want to do that they're passionate about, it's ultimately selfish. And that pressure, like I feel like, is really common amongst especially a lot of Asian Americans and international students too.
Cool. That's going to conclude this round. Thank you guys so much.